Hi, everyone, and welcome to our leadership podcast at Washington, D.C. I am Caden, and I am a 4-H member.
And I'm Emily. Today, we're honored to have a very special guest joining us. We're here to welcome Jill Bramble, who is the president and CEO of the National 4-H Council. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Emily and Caden. It's my honor to be here with you today. It's such a wonderful event, Ignite by 4-H.
To start us off, can you tell us a little bit about your personal journey, like what inspired you to do 4-H at the national level?
Sure. So I grew up on the eastern shore of Maryland, very rural community. My family had a dairy farm, and so 4-H was very much a part of my childhood. And I owe so much to what my volunteers and 4-H agents and fellow 4-Hers gave me growing up, that when I was an adult and I was doing grant writing and in nonprofit administration, I had the chance to meet the CEO at National 4-H Council. And it had been a long time since I had thought of 4-H in my teens. But at that point in time, I had 2 young children, and I was beginning to think about their journey through childhood. And I really wanted them to have a 4-H experience. And so it got me really reflecting on all the life skills that I learned in 4-H. And so seeing it from an adult perspective really made me want to come back to the mission and make sure that all kids had access to this amazing program that I had when I grew up. So I started 20 years ago as a grant writer and had the opportunity at National 4-H Council also to be surrounded by a lot of mentors who helped me grow in my career through many different roles, and then just had the honor 2 years ago to move into the president and CEO role.
So you mentioned that you grew up on a dairy farm. Is it still around? Do you visit it still? Did you bring your kids there?
It is. So I have a cousin that now runs the dairy farm, but he is using all the modern technology that agriculture has become, which really brings me forward to the Beyond Ready initiative. And we know in 4-H that young people are not just ready, they are beyond ready for work and life. And so whether their spark is dairy or their spark is textiles and design, or it could be coding and AI. The projects that we have in 4-H then allows them to find their spark, and by working with mentors, develop different career pathways for their work and life. And so for me, my spark was dairy growing up in 4-H. Today, I see all the life skills that I built through that. And while the dairy is still running in a very high-tech operation, there are so many ways that young people can be engaged, whether they are growing up on a farm or they're growing up in urban centers like Washington, D.C., or Miami, Jacksonville, wherever young people live, 4-H is there, helping them be ready for life and work.
It's really awesome, and that's really exciting because in our county, we have a 4-H club called Future Leaders of Wakulla, and we get to teach interviewing, networking, resume building, and we speak at the county commissioner meetings in order to build confidence.
I remember as a teen, probably 12, 13 years old, presenting to my county commissioners, right? Plans that we had created for our community, and our 4-H club had developed the plans and the ideas, and then we presented them to the county commissioners. And that's a perfect example of youth voice, where we in 4-H, we see young people who are leaders today, not at some point in the future. You all are doing that. You have your very own podcast. You're not waiting until you go through school and get hired to do this. You have a wonderful idea and you're using your voice to create something that is a spark for you all.
And that's why we're here today, to teach it to other youth too.
Absolutely. And our young people in 4-H today would much rather learn from you than crusty, dusty, older people like me, right? They want to learn from young people. And so it's fabulous that you all are stepping up as leaders. You are learning life skills along with teaching others, ideas that they can bring forward that spark their interest.
For the members who want to grow into leadership roles and maybe even nationally someday, what are the steps they can take? And if you were to speak to every single 4-H member in the country, what would you say to them?
I would say that they are already ready. They have great ideas, they have creativity. Say yes to new opportunities, say yes to growing, even if you feel you're a little bit over your skis and not as prepared as maybe you want to be in a role. Just be open to learning, align with mentors who will also help you grow. Relationships are so important, and that mindset of growth and strong relationships, that's something that AI can't replace. AI can be a support, but having that creativity and drive to innovate, I want all of our 4-Hers to just leverage and have the courage to bring their ideas to scale.
We would like to thank you again for joining us today and everyone who helped make this possible.
Well, thank you all. You inspire me every single day. I always say being around our 4-Hers is like a shot in the arm. It gives me hope for the future. And, there's a negative conversation sometimes around Gen Z, but when I look at you all and what you're doing, um, there's so much hope for the future. So keep using your voice and being the leaders you are today. You are beyond ready.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
And with that wraps up another episode of Wakulla County 4-H podcast from our great capital, Washington, D.C. We hope you enjoyed hearing exciting information straight from Jill Bramble, our president and CEO of National 4-H. Remember, whether you are a camper, volunteer, or a supporter, there's always a way to get involved and make a difference.
Thanks for listening, and a special thank you to Jill Bramble for taking the time out of her busy schedule at Ignite 2026 to come and talk to us and sharing the really amazing things happening. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss future episodes, and follow us on social media for all the latest updates from Wakulla 4-H. Until next time, keep
learning, growing, and making a positive impact in your community and beyond, where your voice matters.